Hello there, everyone. The Andrada here, and welcome back to all the mods 9 to the sky Let's Play series, where today we are pushing through in our occultism, getting to our dimensional storage, and it is absolutely freaking phenomenal. I am so pumped to finally have some sort of storage system, and occultism is just chef's kiss. Like, it is absolutely great. So let's get started so you can check it out. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of the Andrada, where we got a loose chicken, apparently, just running around, got out of his cage. Anyway, today we're going to continue where we left off last episode, working on occultism and expanding upon that and getting ourselves some magical storage, not digital storage, magical storage. And I think it's going to be great. Coupling that with maybe a drawer wall or something like that will get us like storage for the rest of the game, and we don't even have to worry about like storage disks from Applied Energistics. I think Applied Energistics is the route that I'm going to go in this, because I've never actually done it. The last series that I started it in, we ended up not finishing, and yeah, I've never dove deep into Applied Energistics. I think it's about time for the Andrada to do so. So yeah, let us get started with where we left off. First things first, I want to point out I made a soul sand automation over here utilizing those same polar upgrades that we had prior, or inside of our system that we were using before for our end stone. Though I guess I could have used the one that I had because I made a new one. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. So what we have here is a kitchen sink. Sink is a fantastic block from Cooking for Blockheads. Infinite water from all sides, and it can push and create water like at max int speeds. Basically, you can pull out as much water from this as you can, and it will never bottleneck. It will never run out, and you can pull out from every single phase. When we get into mechanism and need a fusion reactor, it's crazy to think about, but a kitchen sink is the absolute best way to get your water into it. So we have a kitchen sink running down into our oak barrels for our witch water. And then on each of these, I have a pipe flowing out. Now, problem that you have with this automation is that the barrels are going to fill up with water, and we don't want the water to get sucked out of here and go over to this, because in order to make soul sand, you need sand plus witch water. So what I had to do is get an advanced pipe upgrade for each of these. It's kind of expensive. Like, you have to tier through all of the upgrades here. It's not really that expensive. It's redstone heavy, but I had to make a filter for both of those, and then, or a advanced pipe upgrade, which you have to get to the advanced tier in order to filter. With that, I was able to filter witch water, so now those will only pull out witch water, and both of these are set to extract, which means I had to make 2 of those. Pipe that into there, so whenever this witch water finishes, as you see, it moves over. The sandstone is able to be put in, the sand is able to be put into the barrel, and then it automatically gets pulled over here to make a soul sand. And with that, I've been sieving a bit of soul sand for us. Soul sand, when you sieve it, gets you like gas tiers and stuff, which is the reason that I set up that automation mainly is because I needed gas tiers. I mean, we needed the quartz and everything as well, but I wanted gas tiers for our occultism that we're going to dive into because, well, we kind of need it. So we have some gas tiers, 25 of them, plus we've got some nether quartz and magma cream and nether wart and stuff like that for us, which you're in the wrong drawer. You go into here. Outside of that, over here, I just set up end stone. I got netherrack and I got stone set up. There's not really much room for any of the other ones that we have here. I went ahead and made the extractors there and there. But we just don't have the room. I need to get base redesign done or something like that beforehand. One thing I found out is you can share blocks. So this netherrack requires gravel and then 2 blocks of lava. And then stone requires lava, water, and magma, and they can share block face. So this lava is being used by both of these extractors, which is great. But yeah, now we got 2,000 stone, 2,000 netherrack, and end stone. I like it. Okay, cool. So today what I would like to work on is continuing expanding our occultism. I'd love to get into our dimensional storage. And in order to make sure that that does happen this episode, I cleared this area out so we could set up some rituals over here. And I made a bunch of stuff that we need for this in between episodes. That way we are ready to go with all of the things that we are going to need. You'll see here that I have cleared out a lot of this stuff. Anyway, so what we have going on in my new found diamond backpack, because I went ahead and upgraded it, not terribly too expensive to do. You just take the iron backpack that we have, you surround it with gold to get to gold, then you surround that with diamond to get to diamond. Then we can upgrade this one last time in a smithing table utilizing netherite. However, we need to get smithing templates, which we do not have access to at the moment. It is occultism that allows us to get there, though, so sometime soon. However, it does require us to get a bound afrit, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. That part's going to be kind of, I mean, it's not hard. It's just, we're going to die. Anyway, so with that being said, actually, you know what? Getting the bound afrit's not going to be the hard part. Fighting the afrit is. That's just purple dye. Yeah, bound afrit's easy. Fighting the afrit's hard. Anyway, that being said, inside of our diamond backpack, I have a bunch of stuff that we are going to need for these crafts, okay? Starting out over here, other stone slabs is going to allow us to make other stone pedestals, and we're going to need a few of those, total of 5. Those are going to end up going over here, so we can actually just go ahead and grab those right now, and we can place them everywhere, but I just wanted you to see that I had the other stone available to it. So we take those, and we can put those here, and then we can put the rest of them here. This first craft, which I guess I forgot to go in and speed up the config. Let me do that now because we have a lot of occultism crafting to do, and it's going to take a bit. So let me speed up occultism for a moment. And server config updated. If you are interested in doing the same, in the folder, which I put a link to it here. So it's your instance folder, the saves folder, whatever your saves called, server config occultism server. If you go to that toml file, you will be able to modify the config as well. It's called ritual speed or something like that. Its default is 1. I changed mine to 0.01. We'll see how fast that ends up being. But anyway, with all that being said, now we can actually get into doing our rituals. So in our quests, it kind of gives us a general guideline for what we want to have. Which is following this path. We need to get ourselves first, in order to do anything, we need to get ourselves a storage actuator base, combine that with the dimensional crystal matrix, put those two together, and that's just a simple craft, and we will get ourselves a dimensional storage actuator. And that's going to be what allows us to store things by default. And this block itself, this block itself is able to hold 128 storage slots. So that would be what? Let me do some quick math here, and not doing this in my head. 128 divided by 18. That's the equivalent of what? 7 chests or something like that? Is it 18 or 27? Yeah. 128 divided by 27. 4? I don't know. Whatever a normal chest is, it gets you like 5 of them. But each one can hold 16 stacks, which is a big thing. You can hold 16 stacks. So instead of 64, it's 64 times 16, which is a lot more than 64, right? Anyway, yes, the Andrada is a math teacher. It's very hard for me to do math while recording. I can't talk and do math at the same time. Maybe it's the ADHD, but I need to actually write the things down. Mental math has always been a struggle for me. Anyway, that's the base tier. We can upgrade it, though, utilizing these dimensional storage stabilizers and a simple setup such as this, with the dimensional storage stabilizers pointing towards the floating crystal thingy. So that's what we have in our inventory here. This here is going to get us the storage actuator base. This craft here is going to get us dimensional crystal matrix. Combine those together, we'll get the dimensional storage actuator. Over here we have our storage thingies, the tier 1 dimensional storage, which actually these are going to go here. We'll craft those up. Once those are crafted up, we'll immediately put them over here into this craft, which will tier them up to tier 2. And then we can go ahead and get this actually set up. And tier 2 expands that storage, the number of slots available up to 512, I believe it is. Maybe 1,024. I think it's 512 slots available to it, though. We can probably look in the book if we really wanted to. But then to get to the next tier, we need nether stars, so we're not there yet, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's peek in the book and see. Magic storage. We can't do anything until we actually make this. So we can't peek through the book and see because we haven't unlocked it. I mean, we could hit the button and unlock all entries and just be able to completely go through this, like doing that and then be able to access the whole book. I like that, being able to see everything that I'm able to do. If this is your first time exploring the mod, you know, you can go through and discover things as you play and all that stuff. But I've already played with this mod before. We've gotten pretty much everything that's in it, except for there are a lot of new changes, especially these familiars and things that we're going to check out. But anyway, so a tier 2 can hold 512 slots. And then tier 3 is 1024. And I'm going to assume tier 4 is 2048. Yeah. Okay. So it's great. Then once we get that done, we're going to work on getting it wireless. I mean, why not? Let's access our storage network remotely. This is extremely powerful because it works cross-dimensionally. There's no range. It just works everywhere. And we can set up stable wormholes, which are kind of like a portable access to our inventory wherever we want. We can pull from it. We can push from it, push to it. It's kind of like it's a chest. It's like a crafting grid, but wherever the heck you want to put it in the world, you got access to all of your stuff. Cross-dimensionally again. It's fantastic. That's why I love occultism storage. So let's get ourselves into it. Yeah. So we need to get ourselves, we got the other stone pedestals. We need to get our base. That's going to use Azivius's Spectral Compulsion Ritual. I did go ahead and make us some more sacrificial bowls here so we can set up these other rituals. Eventually, maybe we'll put these into like a hyperbox or something so that we can get more. But for now, is this was the recipe for bowls, or is it this? Yeah. Excuse me. I'm going to make some more bowls, though, because we're going to need... I just want to have bowls for every recipe, and I don't have to worry about moving the bowls. The only thing that I would have to move would be the sacrificial bowl, which, if I remember, is just surrounding that with gold. Let me get another one of those. I don't want to have to move anything. Like, each of these rituals that we're going to do, which I think we have 3 different rituals for this, we'll just have everything set up where it needs to be, and then we're golden. We don't have to worry about anything. 3. Nope, it was only supposed to be 2. Well, it is what it is. Let me make one more of these then. Okay, so there we go. Okay, cool, and cool. Oh, by the way, I had a wandering trader spawn in, and he was selling skeleton skulls, so I bought all the skeleton skulls that he had available. Okay, so Azivius's Spectral Compulsion is our next block. Or our next ritual that we're going to need to make. So just moving down the line, I believe it's going to be over here. Okay. So Spectral Compulsion, because remember we did AVR Circle. That was the first one that we did, the most basic to summon our foliate. Now we need Azivius's Spectral Compulsion. This is going to require the gold tier. We are going to have to go rob our candles. I guess I didn't pay attention to make enough candles. I guess I probably have the resources to make more candles. I think I have enough tallow. Yeah. And string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, we can make that happen. That's easy enough. All right, so let's go ahead and get ritualizing, something like that. Let's place our candles down. Let's get our white chalk and our golden chalk. Now, the reason that I made that chalk brush, by the way, if you were to accidentally place something where you didn't want it, if you try and like break it, look how slow it is. It takes forever. Use the chalk brush, immediately erases it. So you definitely want the chalk brush. It's intended to be that way so that you don't accidentally erase your chalk by just smacking it or anything like that, even with strong tools. So you need the chalk brush if you want to undo, essentially, whatever it is that you have going on. So definitely make yourself the chalk brush. It's really not that complicated to do. Sacrificial bowl, and there we go. Okay, so we have used some of our chalk. We have some more bowls. Which now that I think about it, I'm going to want 4 more bowls, aren't I, for the next one? Whatever, it is what it is. Put this over here, we'll make that. Okay, so we want to make our dimensional storage base, which is going to be this, with a book of binding of foliate. So we can go ahead and, oh, we can't do that. We have to do these first, I forgot. This. The nice thing is that you don't have to have them in any specific spot. You can just have everything go in, and it's going to do it. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, yeah, look at that. Much faster. I like that. All right, storage actuator base acquired. We're going to take the blocks of quartz, the ender pearl, and the book of binding Jinn, and do the same thing. Is it the same ritual? I forgot to check that. No, it is not. It is Strieger's Higher Binding. Good thing I looked. Strieger's Higher Binding is going to be in the next tier, and I love the name of it, Strieger's Higher Binding. We'll take this, and we'll place it here, and that requires our purple stuff. Now, we do have a giant hole in the ground. That doesn't help us. If I place it here, are we going to run into the hole? No. We do have to tear down this lantern. Wow, McCall's fences take forever to break down. Okay, let's go ahead and place a torch here. We are going to have candles, so it's not that big a deal. I know, again, I'm spreading everything out all around the base, and it doesn't look, the absolute greatest in the world, but we'll figure it out later. This is just to get us started. I really want to build, after this, in between episodes, I'm going to start working on expanding our base. I'm probably going to tear down our house here and just make things look, well, I don't know if I'm going to say nicer, but more Andrada, that's for sure. Give us more room to work with. All right, so we have that. We're finally going to go ahead and use our Spirit Attuned crystals that it had us make initially that we ended up not using right off the bat, but that's okay. We can go ahead and place those, and we're going to go ahead and chalk it up. Now, this one uses all 3 types of chalk, and you can kind of see that these rituals are all expanding upon each other. They kind of use similar bases, right? So this had, the 4 around and the 3 gold in the middle and then the 2 whites. Well, now we're expanding that, but now we're adding the purple around it. The ritual circle gets larger and larger the more things that we have to do, the higher tier up that we get, which is kind of cool. It just is an expansion of what we've already been working with. Am I out of food? No. Why aren't you eating the toast? Now I do want to just allow toast to make sure that toast is the only thing, since that's what I have been crafting up a ton of, is just utilizing all the wheat that I have and making some toast. But yeah, good. Okay, now the sacrificial bowl. There. Let me go make some more bowls. I don't want to have to do it again, so we'll just make some more bowls. Excuse me? Okay. All right, Strieger, what you got for me, buddy? Now, for Strieger's higher binding, one recipe is going to require a 5th item. When we get up to the tier 2, it's going to require a 5th one, which is why, I knew I made the bowls already. I'm going to add another bowl over here. I was like, I thought I had made bowls, but I guess not. But I guess I did, and I just didn't pay attention to it. Okay, this is going to require some quartz blocks and a ender pearl, and then a book of gin. Now, the book of ginny is very simple to make. Same thing, you bind it with your spirit, but this just requires green dye instead. Started binding the ginny into a dimensional matrix, and see, look, I sped this up to 0.01, and it's not going slow, but imagine having to wait for this normally. We'd be here forever. Okay, so we take this, and we take this, and we now have a Dimensional Storage Actuator. Magical storage. Place this down. You're going to see it glows RGB. Ooh, ah. And if we come access this, we can put stuff into it and have magical storage. You can see how many slots we have available to us. I don't know what the furnace button does. Can this furnace things up? Maybe if you have like a special foliate and things like that, you can furnace things up. But yeah, look, we can just shove things into it just like any other inventory we wanted, and we have access to everything. However, 128 slots, we will very quickly come up against that limit. So we are going to work on solving that problem by upgrading ourselves to the next tier. We're going to add on to this. Where this is going to sit, I don't quite know. But for now, it looks great right here. So what we're going to work on is getting ourselves the next tier up by working with Exivius' Spectral Compulsion. That's this guy over here. Now we need 4 of these, which is why I do have extra books over here, because each one of them is going to require a book, but they don't stack because they have specific NBT data. So we're going to go ahead, clear out my inventory so I can do this, and then 1 of these each. You and... Spirit Attuned Gem. There we go. I'm like, where is the last thing? There. And then we foliate it up, and that'll turn into a stabilizer. And then we got to do it again. Not too bad. We'll come back when that's done. Great. Now that we have the tier 1 done, we're going to go ahead and get them up to tier 2. Remember, this is going to be the one that requires Strieger's higher binding. And it requires 5 items, so we're going to go ahead and do that. But we're going to go ahead Spirit Attuned Gems, and there's 2 different slots for Spirit Attuned Gems. Silver block, nether quartz, gas tier, and our books of gin. Ginny, sorry. Not gin. Gin's good, though. We'll go ahead and place this here, 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 and not nether quartz, here. And then if we go ahead and put our book in there, we will start upgrading those to tier 2. So we'll come back when these are done. And there we go. Tier 2 dimensional storage stabilizers added. So in order to set these up, it's really not that difficult. So you just have to make sure, like it said in the book, that you point these towards the glowing part, not the base itself, the glowing part. You can kind of have them spaced out wherever you would like. It makes sense to space them out like this. But you go ahead and you do this. And one more. It might be prudent for me to space those out one more. But you're going to see we now have 2,176. Because remember, it takes that original 128 you have and then adds it on. And each one of these is 512. That's the kicker. So now we have a ton of slots available to us inside of this. However, it's not the greatest thing in the world yet because, I mean, if I have to walk over to this every single time, it's going to be kind of a pain to do. So let's get it wireless, right? Why not? Let's not have to actually come up to it. Let's get it going somewhere else. So again, Strieger's higher binding. It's going to require a few things, which I pre-crafted because I said I didn't want to have to sit here and do all this with you guys. Let's get it done quick so we can just get into it, you know? Let's go ahead and place these out. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, and Ginny. And then we'll go ahead and make ourselves one wormhole frame. I think this is an Azivius recipe. And then we can show off how all of this works. Yeah, so this is Azivius's. We're definitely going to move this. It looks terrible. You there, 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 and there. Into a wormhole frame. And now we'll have a stable wormhole. Okay, cool. Love it. All right, so we have our storage accessor, not bound to anything yet. You come over here, shift right click. It is now linked to it. And as expected, I have access to my storage wherever I am at. I believe there's even a hotkey for this. So you can set it up to, let's go to category occultism. Open storage accessor set to N. We're going to go with tab for now and then key, because tab is generally what I like to use. And we can get rid of crafting on a stick now because we don't need the crafting on a stick. So we can go ahead and open up our backpack. Crafting on a stick can go away. Storage accessor can go to my hand slot. And there we go. Now I can open up my inventory wherever I'm at. Sort by amount, descending, sync with JEI, please. Clear the search. Bada bing, bada boom. We can start shoving things into this. No matter where we are. It doesn't matter how far away we get. It doesn't matter if we are in the nether. We have access to our dimensional storage actuator anywhere we want. I have so many chickens. I need to cull the herd. Which is fantastic. Like, that's what makes this mod so absolutely powerful. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then once we get into wireless storage, or I'm sorry, like digital storage, AE2, that's where this stable wormhole is going to come in handy. We can bind this to this. Now, wherever we place this in the world, first off, it looks absolutely phenomenal, right? But you have access to your storage. I'm right-clicking this. I'm not hitting tab. I can access my storage from wherever I want in the world. I can hook up a storage bus to this and access everything from AE2, which means I don't need to worry about disks and data types and everything. Because if I wanted to speed this up, I mean, I believe I can even add more of these dimensional storage stabilizers. I think I can add another one on top pointing into this to add another 512. I'd actually like to test that out, TBH. So I'm probably going to set that up and I'll do that in between episodes. I'll make another one of those and see if I can add even more storage to it. Can I add one to the bottom pointing into it? I'm going to make 2 more. We'll see what happens. Who knows? But it's fantastic. Now what I can do is come into here and I can just break all this stuff. I got a magnet, which is great. And I can start, take my chalk out of here. Anything that I keep on me at all times, we'll go ahead and, let's see, chalk brush can stay, sure. Magnet's going to stay. Demon Dream Fruit's going to go. Okay. And the Dictionary of Spirits can go ahead and chill in here. There we go. Now I can just do this. I can break all these chests. I have a magnet, so everything's going to get sucked on over to me, and I can just start adding everything into here. Keeping in mind, anything with NBT is going to take up an entire slot. It also does respect Minecraft's stack limits, so when you are putting it in there, if I put those eggs, for example, that only stack to 16, each stack of 16 is going to take a slot. But at this point, we have 2,176 slots. It's really not going to hurt us to just shove... Oh. Okay, so I'm going to have to... It's just complaining that it's going to... There's too many stacks inside of here, so I have to actually do this. It doesn't want to dump all those entities out into the world, which I understand. But now, keep in mind, again, each one of those slots inside of here can hold 16 stacks each, which is a ridiculous amount of storage inside of each. So it actually is even better than our chest that we have there. So all of this stuff is in here. Bam. I could put all of my drawers or all of my dusts and stuff in here. Everything can go on in here, and I don't have to worry about it. We've only used 231 out of our 2,176 slots, and that's pretty much everything that we have in our base. So now I have access to everything. Crafting is easy. Like, it's awesome. Which was the whole point of this, so that we could get to this point so that we can make things a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and dump all of this into there. Eventually, I would like to set up a drawer system, but for now, for crafting purposes, all of this is going to go into here until we're ready to actually utilize, all the stuff. This can go here. The stable wormhole is going to get locked in. And yeah, I am a massive, massive fan of Occultism's storage system. Check the quests. Let's make sure that we just turn everything in. We get some rewards for this. So we get a common reward, melon seeds, yay. And we got cooked pork chop, yeah. And we got a solar panel. Oh, that's actually not too bad. I'll take the solar panel. Occultism over here on the side, we got that. Now, I would like to look into familiars and see what options we have for familiars, but that'll be something that we can work on next episode before. I'm not going to say we're going to wrap up Occultism because, we are still working in Occultism. This solar panel is pretty good. Only works during the day, of course, but it is the basic tier solar thing, and it generates 60 RF per tick. I'm going to stick that somewhere and utilize that. But yeah, that's intro to Occultism and storage from Occultism, which is, again, absolutely fantastic. The fact that I can access it wirelessly with no power usage and from anywhere in existence in the universe is wonderful. And it holds so much. I'm going to make 2 more of those dimensional storage stabilizers, see if that actually works. Can we add up to 6 of those and see if that is a thing? And then, yeah, next episode we'll come back. We'll work on it. I'm going to clean up our base, too, in between episodes here. We're going to redesign this, tear down this house most likely, and just get us some open land that we can work with and start putting some mods somewhere. Don't know what kind of theme I want to go with. And there ain't no way. I'm no chosen architect or anything. I've caught up on his All the Mods 9 series, or All the Mods 9 to the Sky series, and his whole cyberpunk theme that he has going on is absolutely fantastic. There ain't no way you're getting that from the Andrada. That's yeah, I wish I had a quarter, an eighth of the creative bone that man has, but he's awesome. Fantastic creator. If you've never watched Chosen Architect, go check him out. He does fantastic mod tutorials and everything. He breaks things down in a very simple way, and his designing skills are phenomenal. Like, I wish I could be at that level. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.